let's move on to some slightly more complicated unit conversions. So let's say we have the following relationships. Right? 1 year is equal to 365 days. Pretty straightforward. 1 day is equal to 24 hours. Okay, pretty straightforward. 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes, and 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. And let's ask the question if we have, all right, so if we have 1 year, how many seconds is that equivalent to? How many seconds are in a year? Okay, that's what we want to get to. So we could use the method described in the last video to figure this out piecewise. We could first figure out how many hours there are in a year, and we could figure out how many minutes there are in an hour, in that many hours, and we could figure out how many seconds there are in that many minutes. So let's go for it. All right, so first we want to get from years to days. So 1 year times our conversion factor, and we want to make sure that years are in the denominator, so it would be 365 days per year is our conversion factor. And we're going to end up with 365 days. Right? 1 year times 365 is equal to 365. All right, now let's go to hours. We've got 365 days, and we want to figure out how many hours that's equal to. So we want to create our conversion factor with days in the denominator. So we know that there are 24 hours for every 1 day. There we go. All right, because I'm brilliant at math and because I calculated these numbers before the video, I know that 365 times 24 is 8760. And because days cancels out with days, we know that we end up with hours. So we know that there's 8,760 hours in 1 year. All right, next step, let's go to minutes. 8760 hours. We want to cancel out hours, so we know that we need minutes in the numerator. So 60 minutes are equal to 1 hour. And this result is going to be 525,600 minutes. Now, for those of you that are freaking out right now, I'm not really too worried about significant figures because actually all these numbers are known to an extremely high precision. These are exact relationships. So we're in one of the rare situations where we don't need to worry about significant figures. So we're back to the point where we have 525,600 minutes in a year. We're down to the last step where we're going from minutes to seconds. 525,600 minutes. Create our conversion factor to keep seconds in the numerator and minutes in the denominator. So 60 seconds is equal to 1 minute. Oops. Equal to 1 minute. We're going to end up with 315,36,000 seconds in a year. Okay, so what do we have? 31,536,000 seconds in a year. All right, that's great. And everything we did is exactly right. But dimensional analysis, the fact that these units cancel, allows us to go about nasty conversions like this in a much more straightforward manner. Okay, so we can start with 1 year, just as we did before. And we know that we somehow need to get from 1 year to that to the equivalent number of seconds. Okay, so let's just go ahead and create a string of conversion factors that we know will give us the correct units when we multiply them all together. All right, so let's just go ahead and say, all right, so first I need to get rid of years. So let's just write in the conversion factor that gets rid of years. That's going to be 365 days per year. Okay, now because of dimensional analysis, we know years cancel out with years, so whatever the product of these two numbers is going to be in units of days. So let's get rid of days. Let's create another conversion factor that gets rid of days, and we know we can get rid of days by using the conversion factor 24 hours per day. All right, so years cancels out with years, days cancels out with days, and we know that the product of these three numbers is going to have units of hours. All right, let's keep going. Let's get from hours to minutes. Let's cancel out hours. 60 min per hour. All right, so hours will cancel out with hours, and we know that the product of these four numbers is going to be units of minutes. And finally, the product of these five numbers is going to have units of seconds. And if we were to multiply these five numbers out, we would end up with the exact same number that we had before. Let's see if I can fit it. 315 36000 seconds. Okay? So the take-home message is we know from unit conversions exactly what our final units are going to have. We know from dimensional analysis exactly what final units we have. And this allows us to just pick a whole bunch of conversion factors that give us the appropriate final units, which means we don't need to be quite so deliberate by doing really complicated unit conversions step by step by step by step by step and keeping track of exactly what we did each time. We know that by multiplying these numbers, we're going to end up with seconds. And therefore, with dimensional analysis, we can really speed up the process of these unit conversions just by stringing a whole bunch of them together. Okay, a lot of you will probably, from my experience teaching this class, a lot of you will probably stick by doing this type of iterative process for more complicated unit conversions. But feel free to branch out and experiment with this. Both are correct. This second strategy will save you a little bit of time.